Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn, guys. We're here live Monday morning. Tell me why I hate Mondays. Well, not this Monday, guys, because you know what? Liverpool lost this weekend. They lost this weekend, and Man United have solidified a 5-point gap between ourselves and sixth place, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Man United are in pole position. Who would have thought it in qualifying for the Champions League, guys? I mean, wow. I told you guys, you got to be calm. Got to be calm. It's a marathon, not a sprint, as they say. A marathon, not a sprint. That's what it is. I've still got my hopes up about the second place. Of course, Man City winning makes it a little bit more difficult, but I still got my hopes about it. I'm still going to believe until the very end, of course. Man City are 6 points from the top of the league. And obviously, there's weird games again this week, of course, guys. And Man United go to West Ham. And we'll be gearing up to that game tomorrow, guys, of course. The massive game against West Ham tomorrow. I can't wait for it. We're ready for it, guys. The match preview will be later. We are going for it, guys. We are going to push as high up that league as we possibly can. That's what it's all about. It's all about the belief, guys. Guys, if you just started, if you just walked in, don't forget to smash a like on the video. Guys, Team 50 every single day, guys. Every Breaking Dawn. That is our first hold. And we're going to get higher than that, obviously, with 100 very, very soon, guys. And then 200, then 400, then 600. That's how it should be, guys. Absolutely. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream, guys. I hope you're all blessed, guys. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today, of course, guys. Thank you, everyone, guys. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you all, of course, guys. Good to see you all. Hope everyone is good, of course, guys. Hope everyone's good. Hope you can see me loud and clear. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hope you can see me loud and clear, guys. Big up everyone in the stream. I hope everyone is blessed today on this Monday morning. I know it is a new week. I know it's a new dawn. I know it's a new day. It's a new light. It's a new life. It's great, guys. Look, listen, we've got a chance this week again to move further, confirm ourselves further in that Champions League spot, guys. Liverpool got defeated yesterday. Wow, it was a big game yesterday. Sorry I couldn't do the watch along for it, guys. I couldn't get home in time. Could not get home in time. I was driving, you know what I mean? And couldn't get home in time to do the watch along, unfortunately, guys. But really appreciate everyone for your love and support. Thank you so much. You're absolute legends, guys. Let's get straight into it. Let's get straight into a bit of news. Now, obviously, over these last couple of days, Man United have been linked to a number of Newcastle United players, whether it's Anthony Gordon, whether it is Tonali. Man United have been linked with. Now, I mentioned Tonali about a year ago that Man United could possibly move in for Tonali. Now, I did say back then that Tonali was unhappy at Newcastle. For whatever reason it was, he was unhappy at Newcastle. Of course, Tonali, when he walked into Newcastle, he had that ban, didn't he? He had that gambling thing going on and stuff like that. And I think he didn't really set his Newcastle United career in the right way, in the right direction, if you know what I mean. Now, rumor is that Tonali still wants to leave Newcastle United for whatever reason. He wants to leave Newcastle United. Sandro Tonali, guys, is growing increasingly frustrated at St. James's Park. For whatever reason that is, guys, he's increasingly frustrated, guys, in regards to everything, in regards to life. He's become a little bit disillusioned, guys. He has over 3 years on his contract, 150,000 a week with the option of a fourth. Newcastle are determined to retain Tonali, and the player himself is not actively looking for an exit. Arsenal, Chelsea, and Manchester City admire the 100 million rated player. Tonali is also wanted by several Serie A side. Now, I spoke about this a few times over the last year that, you know, Tonali's coming out and saying, contradicting what the media reports are saying and stuff like that. Tonali, he's unhappy and blah, blah, blah. But then he turns around and he says, no, I'm fine at Newcastle. I'm happy at Newcastle and stuff like that. But here's the key, guys. Now, the fact that Newcastle are not going to qualify for the Champions League this season, it looks like that way, doesn't it? Newcastle won't qualify for the Champions League this season. So that is going to be a huge blow for Newcastle and their FFP and their PSR aspirations, of course, guys. So this could be an opportunity for Manchester United to steal a march and go in there and buy a couple of their players and stuff like that. And Sandro Tonali would be a fantastic signing for Man United. I rate the player very highly. He's a class player, an absolute class player. I think he would be a brilliant player at Manchester United. I really do think so. And I think Tonali would represent a move forward in regards to our midfield. And that, considering that we're missing so many midfielders and stuff, guys, next season, we're going to be obviously Ugarte and Casemiro off the cuff. Look like they're going to be leaving Man United anyway. Obviously, the way Casemiro has been playing in recent weeks, guys, I mean, it's been phenomenal. And I have to give my plaudits to Casemiro. He's been absolutely fantastic. It's going to be a shame to see Casemiro go. It really is. But you have to look forward. You have to look what's next at the end of the day. And we have to look, if we replace him with a player like Tonali, it will be absolutely fantastic. But he's not the only Newcastle United player who has been linked to Manchester United, of course, guys. The other player that has been linked to Manchester United is CDM Bruno Guimaraes. Now, Bruno Guimaraes is a 28-year-old playing for Newcastle United at the moment, 41 caps for Brazil, 2 goals, 75 million valuation, although that could decrease if Newcastle United don't get into the Champions League. Now, this guy has been one of the top performing CDMs over the last few years, in my opinion. Obviously, originated from Lyon, Olympique Lyonnais, of course, and he was always been highly respected and very, very talented player. My biggest bone about this transfer here is that he is 28 years old and he's quite pricey. And I think Man United could quite possibly get someone. Maybe look, it's not just about the talent-wise. It's someone who's going to be there a longer-term sort of thing. Bruno Guimaraes would be a good signing because obviously he could walk straight into the Man United team and do a job. And he's got Premier League experience. And I think that's very important. I think these two, Tonali and Guimaraes, are two players that could do a job in that midfield straight away, walk in and straight into that team. And I think that's what Man United need. Man United, I think, have got enough project players going on at the moment. We've got enough project players. But Bruno Guimaraes, imagine we sign Bruno Guimaraes and Tonali. I think it will be a very, very good summer. First for those two, let alone. No, but we need a lot more. Of course I do. I'm just joking, guys. We do need a lot more, of course. But 28-year-old, 41 caps for Brazil, 2 goals. Very, very good player. Very, very talented and would obviously improve Man United's midfield tenfold, of course, guys. But there are going to be a lot of midfielders linked to Manchester United. It's not just Newcastle United players that Manchester United are linked with. Most of these players that I've been speaking about over this last few minutes are basically players that I've been speaking about for the last few months. And this is why it gives people the illusion that I'm speaking about hundreds of players. I don't. I'm actually speaking about the same players. But I mentioned them more than once because we are still interested in those same players, of course, guys. Absolutely. Which obviously some people don't quite understand for whatever reason. Some are not blessed with the old IQ. But at the end of the day, that is what it is, guys. Absolutely. Now, there are other midfielders that Man United are being linked with. Of course, there is. Lamine Camara. Now, Lamine Camara, the Senegalese star, of course, guys, played in the AFCON, absolutely fabulous player. One thing about Lamine Camara is that Lamine Camara would represent a cheaper option. I'm not saying that, you know what, he's cheap as chips and blah, 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 Glazonomics and stuff like that. This guy is a very, very good player, Lamine Camara, and I've been speaking about him for a long time, as you know. Now, Lamine Camara, currently playing, obviously, for Monaco, is a player that is going to be sought after by the whole of Europe. Of course he is. And I like this player. My opinion is, if Man United go out there, for example, Man United need about 3 midfielders, in my opinion. Now, Man United need about 3 midfielders, in my opinion. So why not get an Anderson? Why not get someone like a Tonali? And you spent a lot of money on midfielders already. Then get a Lamine Camara, who would be a lot cheaper, of course, guys. He would represent a lot cheaper. Now, I know it represents a risk in regards to these players. Of course it does. I know he's a 22-year-old. He's got loads of room for improvement as well. And it's a type of signing that, let me give you an example. It's a type of signing that a Brighton would do. A Brighton would go after. And then we'll, down the line, 2 years later down the line, we'll be looking at Kamara and thinking, oh, why didn't we do that move? It's exactly what we did with Baleba. We were earmarking Baleba when he was playing at Lille, and then we didn't sign him. And then obviously we all know what's going on with Baleba at the moment. But Lamine Camara, I'm happy that he's still on Manchester United's radar. Very important. Just like other midfielders are at the moment on Manchester United's radar in regards to the midfield position. Of course, guys, there are a number of players that will be leaving the football club as well. I can see, obviously, we've already got Casemiro, we've already got Ugarte. It looks like they'll be leaving. Obviously, Anthony, Rasmus, Sancho, who else is it? Who else is leaving the football club? There's one more. Is leaving the football. Anyway, Collier is leaving the football club as well, of course. So this should be, in theory, a very, very busy window. Now, all the midfielders that we're mentioning are midfielders that would improve Man United's midfield significantly. I know Casemiro's a generational. I know Casemiro is a world-class player. And to this day, you can see it now. You can see how important Casemiro is. And why is Casemiro playing good? And this is something that we've been speaking for months and months and months, because he's playing with the natural number 8. He's playing with a natural number 8. He's playing with Kobe Mainu. That's what we said. Casemiro cannot play with Bruno. This is the thing. He needed a number 8 next to him that can complement him in a way that he can obviously have more freedom and not have to run, so much and stuff like that. And this, obviously, we haven't seen much of Ugarte. However, Ugarte just doesn't look like it's working out at the moment, of course. Another player linked with Manchester United is obviously another player mentioned on Stretford Post, of course, is Pierre Kalulu. Now, Pierre Kalulu is a Juventus centre-back who's being linked to Man United. Man United are looking up to shore up the defence a little bit. Of course, Manchester United have lost Vinny Lindelof, Varane, and they may lose Maguire and Dalot in the summer. It looks like that way. And Luke Shaw, there's talk about Luke Shaw leaving as well. Manchester United have earmarked Pierre Kalulu as a possible signing. According to the Italian media outlet Calcio Mercato, Manchester United is interested in defender Pierre Kalulu, and on an offer around 30 million euros will be necessary. His departure will depend on Juventus standings at the end of the season. If the club fails to qualify for the Champions League, it may be forced to sell key players to balance its finances. His value is 28 million euros on the market, guys. So Pierre Kalulu, yeah. And this is something that we need to be aware of as about, our scouts and stuff that need to be aware of this, and they need to think about this. There are big teams with big players that may not qualify for the Champions League. And we need to look at that and scout that and see who hasn't qualified for the Champions League and what players they've got. And we can possibly not still a march on those players and maybe get a cheaper deal on those players. Of course, like we were talking about Elliot Anderson the other day, about if Nottingham Forest go down, Elliot Anderson's price is going to reduce significantly. Now, this goes with every single player. Once you don't get in the Champions League, you do lose a bit of money. Of course you do. Now, I've got a feeling that Aston Villa will move out of that top 5 position. I've got this feeling that it's going to happen. I think they'll move out. It doesn't look good, though, for Liverpool, though, I would say that, because I was thinking that Liverpool may win the game yesterday or even draw the game. But I think a draw would have been better for Man United, obviously, if we're going for the second place. But we'll take third place anyway, guys. And I think Man United have got to play Aston Villa. They're only 3 points ahead of Manchester United at the moment. We got to play Aston Villa at home. Aston Villa got various other games as well. They got to negotiate. I think they've got to play Liverpool as well, which is going to be a massive game. So, I'm looking at it and thinking, yeah, look, Man United will be fine. And but if Aston Villa drop out of that top 4, we can look at the Morgan Rogers. You know what I mean? We can look at the Morgan Rogers. We can look at Amadou Onana, as well. Their midfield maestro, of course, who's a big one as well. He's aware. And we can get these players for a cheaper deal, which will be, a possibility if you're looking at it that way, of course, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely. Big up everyone in the stream. How you doing, guys? It is a massive week. Manchester United are playing West Ham United. Of course, when we think about West Ham United, what do you think about? I think about them costing us a title in 1995. Of course, some may say that's petty, Sal. Why are you still going on about that? Because I haven't forgotten it. That's why I want to sink West Ham United. I want to sink West Ham United tomorrow. I'm from East London. I know all about the Hammers, guys. I want to sink West Ham United tomorrow. They need to be sunk. That's what needs to happen, guys. Absolutely. Let me pick up the community. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is blessed with you. Hope everyone is good. Good to see Sanjay. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Big up, Richie. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well, Richie. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you again. And big up the legend, Benny. How you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the stream, mate. Hope you're doing well, pal. Big up, Max. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're good. Big up, Kenny. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. You mean the pole position to win the Europa League? I'm kidding. We'll finish second. Absolutely. Kenny, I hear you perfectly. Big up. Thank you so much, Kenny. Benny, The Dippers are in real trouble if they don't make the Champions League. Brilliant. They are in big trouble, guys, because the amount of money that they've spent, $500 million. I mean, guys, who would have thought? Who would have thought at this time of the season, mid-February, right, that we would be fourth, 3 points from third, and Liverpool would be sixth? Who would have thought that, guys? Guys, that is incredible, isn't it? You know, that's how football works. That's why one thing about football that I've always learned is that, you know, never, ever speak too soon when it comes to football. You never speak too soon. You have to keep the grounded and you have to keep humble, because football's only measured on the next game at the end of the day. You're only as good as your last game. And, you know, you could be all this, you could have all this enthusiasm, all this hype and all this, that and whatnot. But ultimately, you need to get the results on the pitch. That's what you need to do. And Man United are getting those results at the moment, and long may it continue. Now, I'm looking at the West Ham game, and about a couple of weeks ago, I did look at this West Ham game, and I was thinking, right, we beaten Arsenal and we beat Man City, which we've done a numerous amounts of times, right, recently. We beat Fulham with a low block. Okay, fantastic, brilliant. You know, that's how we beat Tottenham, who we haven't beaten in 8 games, by the way. Fantastic, brilliant. That now we're looking at West Ham United, and we're looking at when was the last time we won at the London Stadium, West Ham? Was it 5 years ago? Something like that? Do you know what I mean? This is getting ridiculous. We need to change this narrative. We need to go to the London Stadium tomorrow, and we need to defeat them and beat them well. Now, we're going to have to be careful about West Ham. West Ham have got a couple of strikers there that are in red-hot form at the moment. But West Ham always give you a chance. And another thing, West Ham always seem to turn up against Man United. West Ham always seem to turn into prime Barcelona when United come to town. As I said, in 1995, they sacrificed limbs to stop Manchester United winning the league title, if you remember, if those people who were around that time. But they haven't only cost Man United 1 title, they've cost Man United 2 titles, guys. Guys, listen, they've cost Man United 2 titles, not just 1 title. Absolutely. City, how was the City ball game? Very good game, to be honest with you. Enjoyed it. Would have preferred a draw, but we take that. Big up, Sam. What's going on, my friend? I'm very well. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is blessed with you. What's the Europa League theme tune? I don't even know the Conference League one. What's the Conference League song? I don't even know what the Conference League song. Whoa, that's the Europa League one. Where are you? We can't see you down there. That's what we do to Liverpool, because we can't see you down there. I can't see you. You know what I mean? I can hear you. I can hear you. Absolutely. Gregory, good morning. What's going on? Who is the other guy besides Tonali on the thumbnail from Newcastle United? That is Guimaraes, my friend. That is Bruno Guimaraes. Absolutely. Roy, how does Europa League? Yeah, absolutely. That's how it goes. I know it now. See, I'm getting used to it. I'm getting the hang of it. United should think of signing Baleba, because Baleba isn't good enough for United. We are United and we should be going for the best players. Now, I'm going to get into that. You're very right, Sam. Now, Baleba had another stinker yesterday of a game, guys. Now, Brighton had a stinker all round, and I wouldn't just pull it on Baleba. Of course I would. I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? I do look at things subjectively. But one thing I would say about Manchester United at the moment, and Sam is intelligent, and Sam has said something very, very important here, because he's reminded me. Now, whilst Baleba is still putting in poor performances, Man United have to consider this. There comes a time when you're going to have to say, is he actually that guy? You have to. Sorry, guys, but you do. This is the dilemma that Manchester United are going to be in at the moment. They have to look at this objectively. They have to look at this in a smart way and saying that this is not getting better, you know, because I was looking at Baleba. I was saying, okay, halfway through the season, you know what, it's not good enough and but he might improve the second half of the season. He hasn't improved, guys. He's still pulling that stinking performances. So we have to be very, very careful here, guys. His mentality might not be there where we need it, guys. Guys, his performances have been poor. They've been poor game after game. We are not seeing anything from Baleba to suggest we should spend 65 million on the guy. Last season, yeah, brilliant and all that. Whatever happened and stuff like that. Last season was brilliant. But why should Manchester United spend 65 million on Baleba? Please tell me why. Because he's young? Because he's got maybe, if, buts, and maybes. Listen, football doesn't deal with if, buts, and maybe. As that guy from Liverpool said, we only deal with absolutes. That's what it's all about, guys. It's all about absolutes. Absolutely, guys. And that is what it's all about. We don't deal with if, buts, and maybes, guys. In football doesn't deal like that. You know, this is money. This is 65 million money. Now, rumor is around the football club that Manchester United still admire Carlos Baleba. Now, guys, they still have this feeling that he's going to have a good career at Manchester United. He's going to turn good. He's going to be good. He's going to rekindle his form and stuff like that. But guys, this is a big risk. Guys, you know who's in the market? Do you know who's in the market? Agume, Kamara, Kone, Stiller, Wharton, Anderson. Guys, do I need to say any more? Do I need to say Guimaraes, Tonali? There are players out there that are available now that are performing for their football clubs. So we've got to be very, very smart when we're doing these deals. We've got to be clever when we're doing these deals. We can't just go out there and say, yeah, it doesn't matter. He'll come good. It's fine. Slap down 75 million on him. He'll come good. Don't worry about that. He'll be fine. Will he? Will he though? Will he though? That's the question. Will he be fine? Will he be good enough? I don't know. Absolutely. Big up, Sam, my guy. Gregory, United needs all the central midfielders we can get rid of, Andrews and Guimaraes included. Man United need 3 midfielders. Yeah, Man United need 3 central midfielders, considering we're going to be playing 3 in the midfield. I think Man United need 3 midfielders now, yeah, as a backup as well. Delighted Kobe Mainoo's in the team. Delighted he's playing with Casemiro, because we've been saying that, many of us in the community have been saying that even when we were playing with the 2, Casemiro and Mainoo would be the best balanced number 2 in the midfield. And lo and behold, here we go. The performances are coming now at the end of the day. And I do believe, though, we need a replacement for... Of course, we need a replacement for Casemiro. That goes without saying. Man United do need a replacement for Casemiro. Casemiro is leaving at the end of the season. Can we persuade him for 1 more year? I don't think we are going to persuade him. But I want to ask you guys the one question. Why is Casemiro leaving? Do you think Casemiro is leaving at his own accord? Do you actually think that it's Casemiro that is choosing to leave Man United? No, we're saving money. He's 350 grand a week. We're looking to save money. You don't think that Casemiro would have stayed another year at Man United? Of course he would. Absolutely. Black Sheep, you're a legend. Thank you so much for your kind generosity and donation, my friend. Really appreciate your care and love in the channel and your support. I really appreciate that, man. You're a legend. Thank you so much. And this is what it's all about, this great community, of course. Thank you so much, my friend. And thank you for... money goes all straight back into the channel, and I really appreciate every single one of you who helped the channel. Morning, Sal. Carrick has to refresh the team for tomorrow. What I would do, Black Sheep, this is my opinion. I'm not the oracle of football, of course, guys. But what I would do tomorrow is that I would actually bring in Casemiro, keep it the same, but I would change it. I would look the way West Ham play. They're going to play in. We need a player like him. Look, guys, look, I'm going to do my match preview later on because it's a very interesting one. And Black Sheep makes a good point because, there's a number of positions in that pitch. We have to play this game perfectly against West Ham. West Ham will be up for this game. We know what they do against United every single time. This will probably, most likely, pound for pound, be our most difficult game in the last 4. This is going to be the most difficult one, in my opinion. Because I'm looking at West Ham. I know that West Ham give us a chance, but West Ham are very dangerous and they're quick up front. So Man United need to make sure that they pick the right lineup for tomorrow. I would not take Casemiro at the side. There's news at the weekend that Mbeumo was limping, right? He was limping. I would probably rest Mbeumo and bring in Sesko, right? Probably the only thing that I would do. But when you're looking at Casemiro, I don't think we can leave him at the side for this game. And the thing is, we can take him off after 50, 60 minutes. I think that would be right. And then we can bring on Ugarte because this game is going to be too much for Ugarte. We will lose that midfield battle. Honestly, we will lose that midfield battle against them. And we need to win this game first. And then hopefully we can make changes and stuff like that. It's going to be a difficult game. But it's about time we beat these teams. West Ham are difficult. Look, guys, over the last couple of weeks against Fulham, and obviously at the weekend, I don't think Man United have been vintage. I don't think Man United have been superb, but we got the job done. We need to get the job done against West Ham in front of the London Stadium. Maybe the pressure might be off a little bit more because we're playing away from home, but this is a game that we struggled in the past, as we know, many times, So, look, I really hope, fingers crossed, Man United get the result tomorrow and 5 out of 5 and let that fall, get his hair cut, because at the end of the day, the problem is, guys, and this is about people, I mean, they're going to make it all about that gentleman over there. I have nothing against him. He's making his dough. He's making his skrilla. That's all it is at the end of the day. But, you know, it's becoming a bit of a joke now. And once he gets his hair cut, I would like to think that he will go away into the abyss and become a pundit or something like that, like a celebrity Big Brother or some shit like that. Do you know what I mean? And Man United can concentrate on what's more important than, because I know when Man United win that game, if we win that game, it's going to be all about him. And I think this is wrong, right? We need to focus on football. And if we lose, it's going to be all about him, going back to number one, of course, guys. But yeah, really excited for the game tomorrow. And guys, don't forget to join me for the watch along tomorrow. Very, very important you join me for that. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Thank you. Big up, Black Sheep, and thank you again for your generosity and kindness, my friend, you legend. Sam, what's going on? If United qualify for the Champions League, which we will, we need to spend big on midfielders, especially on the Premier League proven midfielder. I agree, Sam. You're spot on, mate. You're on fire today, Sam. Absolutely. I agree, mate. Absolutely. Man United need 2-3 midfielders off the cuff. Definitely. We're definitely going to lose Ugarte and Casemiro. They're going to be leaving the football club, in my opinion. Word is that Collier is going to be leaving as well, the youngster. He may go on loan again as well. And guys, Mainu hasn't signed a contract yet. So hopefully Mainu will sign a contract as well and he can stay long term. Yes, Man United need to solidify that midfield. They need to buy a couple of midfielders. We need to buy maybe one more defender. Listen, guys, if we qualify for the Champions League, this squad needs an overhaul. We need a rebuild. We need players that can come off the bench. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Xerxes may leave. Mason Mount may leave. Anthony's left. Rasmus has left. Sancho has left. Rashford has left. Maguire may leave. Casemiro, leave. Ugarte, leave. Guys, you know, we're looking at this and we're looking at, wow, we got like 10 players who weren't there a year ago that are not going to be there next season. You know what I mean? And we got to look at it and think, right, these need to be replaced, because we're not only in the Premier League now, we're not playing one game a week. We're just about surviving with one game a week, let alone if we have to play the Champions League in midweek and the FA Cup and the League Cup and stuff like that. We need to go and do our business. And this is why we needed to utilize the January transfer window, because we got the World Cup as well going on as well, which they have obviously neglected the thought about the World Cup as well, which is ridiculous. So hopefully we will. Bad. So we have to really, honestly, we have to really be very, very busy this summer window, of course, guys. We have to be very, very busy this summer window. Absolutely. And it's going to be difficult. Players will be going to the World Cup 2 weeks before the World Cup. Players will be going to the World Cup, coming back from the World Cup 2 weeks after the World Cup. So you know what happens, isn't it, guys? We got to keep busy. Absolutely. Greetings, Vino. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my bro. Guys, good to see you, of course. Absolutely. Trigger Kim, good morning. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. How many years left in their contract for Tonali and other Newcastle player? I think 2029 is when Tonali expires. I think the same is with Guimaraes as well, if I'm not wrong. 2029, so they've got a couple of years left on their contracts. The biggest problem with Tonali and Guimaraes in regards to the Newcastle side of things is that Newcastle won't qualify for the Champions League. And they're in big problems. And they need to sell a couple of players. And hopefully Man United can pouch on those players. Guimaraes hasn't come out and said he wants to leave the football club. Guimaraes wants to stay at Newcastle at the moment. Tonali, though, I am hearing conflicting stories. I do have my connects in Italy, of course, that Tonali wants to leave Newcastle United, and he would be happy and open to a move to Manchester United. But obviously, that depends on Manchester United, and that depends if Manchester United qualify for the Champions League, of course. But they both got a couple of years left on their contract, 2-3 years. Absolutely. Sal, would you sit Casemiro tomorrow to avoid potential injury or play him against? I'll play him against West Ham, mate. I'll play him against West Ham. We can't do it. We'll lose. We'll lose with Ugarte. I'm being honest, Gregory. We will lose with Ugarte. I'm sorry. I can't see anything other than that, unless Man United move Bruno into that midfield position and move probably, what would I say? Probably move Bremo into that number 3. So what we can do this, right? We can move Bruno, Casemiro, and play Fernandes and play Mainu in the midfield with the 2. We can move Bruno into that 3, and then we can move Sesko in place of Casemiro. That's what we could do. And Sesko could play up front. We can do that, but obviously that leaves us liable to be counterattacks, Bagel FC and all that, isn't it? So I think we can't leave him out. We can't leave Casemiro, unfortunately. As much as I would love to leave him out and rest him because he needs a rest. And we got Everton away at the weekend. There's no rest for the wicked. We got some tough games coming up. We need him. We really do. And I'm really pissed off. I'll tell you why I'm pissed off, guys. I'll tell you why I'm angry. It's because I'm fed up with Ugarte. I'll be honest with you. I will always support these players. Any player that plays for Man United, I'll support them to the bitter end. Of course I will. But I'm fed up with his performances. I'm fed up with the lack of urgency and the energy in the midfield when he comes on. Every time he comes on, we decline. And that's what I don't like. We don't look better. I never turn around to you and say to you guys, wow, didn't Ugarte change the game when he came on? Whoa, he was good, wasn't he? I've never done that once. Guys, we're nearly 2 years into his tenure. At the end of the day, he needs to step up because there's a lot of pressure on Casemiro. There's huge pressure on Casemiro at the moment. And we need to take that pressure away from Casemiro. This is why I would not have loaned out Sekou Kone. It's exactly why I wouldn't have done that. I would have kept Sekou Kone and I would have said, okay, Sekou Kone can act as a backup option. You know what I mean? And stuff. So this is exactly why I would have kept Sekou Kone. We need as many midfield options as we possibly can muster. But I really do hope that Casemiro is given a break and we win the game tomorrow and we win it early so we can make changes around 60 minutes and give him a rest and prepare him early for the game against Everton. Away, of course, guys. So a worry, of course, was a little bit of a warning sign at the weekend is when he had that ankle on that foul on him from Romero, the ankle injury. God forbid. Once I saw Casemiro on the floor, guys, I was like, my God. It's like a curse, isn't it? And you're like thinking to yourself, had to be him. It had to be him, didn't it? It had to be bloody Casemiro, didn't it? And we're thinking, like, thank God that he was fine. Thank God he got up and he carried on playing. Absolutely delighted about that. But obviously, he was not 100% after that. Obviously, you look at it and his ankle might have swelled up after that. We don't know. I just hope, fingers crossed, it's all right for Man United. Look, guys, we're on 13 games to go, guys? 13 games to go. Can we hold on? And this is exactly the problem that Ineos have put Manchester United in, put Michael Carrick in. One injury in that midfield, and we are absolutely on the verge of capitulation. Absolutely. Big up, Trigger Kid. My dream transfer coach is Enrique Mitu. Midfielder Onana, Tonali, and Henderson, then another left back. I want to get Henderson. He's about 50, my guy. But definitely Onana and Tonali. Yeah, I would get Onana and Tonali, definitely. I would much rather use a youth team player than Henderson. I would much rather give Kone a chance. Or someone else. Let's not forget we got a Rusco coming in the summer as well. We got that young Colombian player coming as well. So we got to look at the future as well. And he's an ex-Liverpool player, and he's a Liverpool legend. I don't think it'll work. Kenny, just realised that we play Everton after 13 days because of the FA Cup. Yes, we got a big break, Kenny. Just after we play Everton, we got 13 days to the next game. Yeah. Absolutely. We have, because the FA Cup. So we're not playing. We've got basically Monday, we're playing Everton, I believe. Let me just get the fixtures up here. So I don't get it wrong. Man United fixtures. So basically we got West Ham on the 11th. And then all the way to the 24th of February, absolutely, we've got Everton. Now, guys, let me just say something about this. This here may be a blessing in disguise. Man United playing, thank you, Kenny, for bringing it up. Man United playing Everton on the 24th of February, giving Manchester United a good 2 weeks off from football. Resting Casemiro, resting, obviously, Mbeumo and Cunha and Fernandes. I think this is good. I would even go as far as to say, guys, get the lads, take them to Dubai. You know what I mean? Get the lads, take them to Dubai, get them some hot weather, and get them nice and fresh for the upcoming game against Everton. We've got a tough one, guys. We've got West Ham away on the 11th, Everton away on the 24th. Palace, we should negotiate. Palace are not as good anymore, so that's on the 1st of March. But then, here's where it gets tricky. We've got Newcastle away, and then we got Aston Villa at home, and then we got Bournemouth at home, away. So we've got a month, guys, literally a month of incredibly tough games. And then after the Bournemouth game, that's when again, there's no rest. Right, we got Leeds, which is a derby. Then we got Chelsea away. So hopefully, guys, you're looking at this, guys. Right, I'm looking at some of these games and I'm thinking, West Ham needs to be 3 points. Everton needs to be 3 points. Palace at home needs to be 3 points. Newcastle, I'll take a draw. Tough game. Aston Villa at home, we won at home against Aston Villa last season, 3 points, and played well against them away. Bournemouth, difficult, but we got to try and get the 3 points on the 21st of March. Chelsea away, a draw. If we can come out that a draw, we'll be all right. I'm saying Man United, look, Man United don't need to win 13 out of 13. We can win 10, draw 3. You know what I mean? So as long as we don't lose anything, because it'll make it 10 times more difficult for us as well, of course. Vino, we missed out on a Caicedo when he was in South America. I hope we don't make that same mistake with Baleba now. He is young. Be a good business if we give Casemiro 1 year deal. No, because actually Caicedo was playing well for his in South America. Baleba's not playing well in the Premier League. You can't just say, let's sign him and we miss out on him. No, because he's not playing well. You can't do that. It'll be foolish to do that, Vino. Baleba is not been playing well all season, and we should turn our back on that deal right now. 65, 75 million? No. He's not good enough there. 65, 75 million, you can get Anderson, you can get Wharton. A little bit more, you can get Anderson, Wharton, or Stiller. Much better. And that's just the way it is. Sorry, but that's it. I know he's some people's favourite player, but he's not been playing well. He had a stinker yesterday. And we got to stop. Like, we can't just buy players because he's our favourite player, Vino. Caicedo was wanted by various clubs around Europe, was performing in South America. And not only about that, right, his head didn't get turned and didn't lower his performances. He went to England and he performed in England at Wigan, at Brighton, consistently at Brighton. Yeah, that's what it is, right? Consistently. Then he went to Chelsea, right? Baleba hasn't been consistent. Baleba, just like Evan Ferguson was at Brighton, when Evan Ferguson was at Brighton, people were comparing him in the first season to Wayne Rooney. You know, remember that. Where is Evan Ferguson now? Struggling at Roma. You know what I mean? We've got to be very smart and careful here. Baleba was signed for Man United because he's desperate to sign for Man United. Who else is after Baleba right now? Bayern Munich have turned their back on Baleba. Right? People can say, Bayern Munich wanted him. Yeah, they scouted him, and then they didn't scout him. They unscouted him, and they left. We have to be very careful. Gregory, when we are not involved, and I don't rate Caicedo as this amazing player. I think people are going over the top as well. Anyway, when we are not involved in the cup matches, influence upon the schedule become annoying, Kenny. Yeah, absolutely. Samuel, if we can't get 3 midfielders, experienced number 9, 1 left winger, and 1 Spencer in case Maguire leaves, that will be great. Agree with you, Sam, there. Absolutely. Big up, Irfan. How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. Walaikum salam. How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well, Irfan. Good to see the legend in the house, of course, my guy. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Irfan, I'm not going to stop predicting a 4-0 score until it comes to fruition. You got a 4-0 score against West Ham, Irfan. Is that your prediction for the West Ham? Fair play if that's your prediction for the West Ham, but the West Ham game is going to be an absolute difficult game for us, in my opinion, Irfan. But fair play to you, brother. I would love that, man. I would love that, and that would be absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. Chandinga, my guy. What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, man. Tonali and Anderson will be a fantastic midfield partner, but they'll cost a lot of money. But sometimes sacrifice is needed. But you know what, Chandinga, we need to look at it like this: how much money are Ineos going to be making from Anthony, Rashford, Rasmus, Rashford, Sancho, Maguire, Ugarte, Casemiro? The wages off the books. They can afford these players, mate. They can afford. They got 200 million probably revenue that we're going to get, and that's not including the money that's going to come from transfers. You know, so these guys. They can't have any excuses. We can't give them any excuses in the summer. I would love that. Tonali and Anderson be fantastic. Tonali and Stiller and Anderson, Wharton and Stiller. All these kind of combinations here would be brilliant for Manchester United, in my opinion. Absolutely. Irfan, happy that City won for 2 reasons. The pressure on Arsenal, and I would rather City win the league, though they don't look like champions at the moment. Look, you know one thing I would say about the game yesterday, Irfan, I think it's highly underrated what a big morale boost that was for City yesterday. Absolutely big boost for them yesterday. Winning that game from the grasp of Liverpool. They were losing that game. They were going to lose that game. And within 5 minutes, guys, they completely changed the picture of that game upside down. What does that do for their confidence? And guys, let me just give a huge shout out here, guys. Mark Guhi. The amount of interceptions that guy did, guys. The amount of interceptions Mark Guehi did yesterday, he won them the game. Not Haaland, none of that business. He won them the game. Now, do I think it was a penalty on the Man City player? Do I think that was a penalty from, I think it was Mamouche who fell down? Probably not, because he didn't have control of the ball. But I don't care at the end of the day. I wanted to draw myself because then we would have only been 4 points behind Man City rather than 6 points behind Man City. And I am looking at that number 2 position. I am. And obviously, but third place is good enough. There's no difference between second and third. Probably a little bit of money there here and there. Maybe the Glazers might like that and Ineos might like that. But third place will be an absolute dream considering where we've been this season. Do you know what I mean? And over the last year or so. So, yeah, look, I feel that the momentum shifted yesterday. I think that Man City showed character yesterday, resilience yesterday. And I don't like Man City, right? Their fans are so bloody smug. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But you know what? Fair play, fair dues. They did well yesterday and they showed enormous character and resilience to get the job done yesterday. They really did. And, you know, you have to hold your hands up. Arsenal don't win at Anfield. You know, Man City haven't won at Anfield a long time. The only team that wins at Anfield is Manchester United. Absolutely. Somerville on form, absolutely good player. Not going to count my chickens before they have hatched, but how would winning 5 in a row feel? I've forgotten, it's been so long. I think we won 5 in a row under Eric Ten Hag, if I'm not wrong, Gregory. We did. It will feel good. Chelsea have won 4 in a row as well. We forgot that, isn't it? But Man United's fixture list has been more difficult than theirs. Look, I would feel absolutely brilliant, Gregory. I would be on cloud 9, man. I'd be on cloud 9. I think these vibes that we have right now, these good feelings that we have right now, we need to cherish these feelings. We need to feel good because at the end of the day, these feelings don't come along every so often, especially as Man United fans, you know. And I think if we get 5 in a row, forget about the he said, she said, we said, this, that, Amarim this, Carrick this, you know, fed up with it. I was close to muting the word Amarim on my Twitter page because people keep going on about me. It's weird obsession with Amarim on Twitter and stuff, and on around social media in general. Such a weird obsession with him. It's crazy. I don't know what is going on with them. It's like an obsession that they have. I don't know why. Maybe he reminds them of their trip to Spain and their missus had an affair with some bloke called Carlos in Mallorca. I don't know why it is, why they hate him so much. I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely not footballing reasons. It is starting to get a little bit personal in regards to Ruben Amorim. And but I want this to be put aside and I want to focus on what is the future. I would love Michael Carrick to absolutely break records this season. I would love it. And I would love Michael Carrick to get the job. He's one of our own. He gave me great memories, Michael Carrick. He gave me the best memories I can remember, apart from 99. But anyway, he stepped up to a penalty in the Champions League final. You know? Absolutely brilliant. Tonali and Anderson, I mean, anyone, Tonali, Anderson, Tonali, Stiller, Wharton, Anderson, you know, anyone like that, then yeah. And maybe if we brought in Baleba as well, and we brought Baleba as a backup player, and Baleba could come in as a backup player and be rotated. You know, we need a squad, definitely. Absolutely. Roy, my guy, what's wrong? I just realized pundits always say United haven't won at X ground in X years when they play. Well, you know what it is, Roy? Mountains are there to be climbed, as the great Ole Gunnar Solskjaer once said, and we are climbing a lot of mountains this season. Why don't we talk about how long ago did Arsenal win at Anfield? How long ago did Arsenal win at the Etihad? Why don't we talk about that, eh? You know, how long was it before Man City finally won at Anfield? You know, why don't they talk about that? We've beaten Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Palace away, you know, Newcastle, you know, Man City. In this last year alone, guys, last few months alone, you know, last season we won at the Etihad. We've won at Anfield, you know. Chaninga, no excuses for the Glazers and Ineos this summer because January window they didn't spend a single bit of money. Exactly that. And let's not forget, where is that 62 million gone for Semenyo? Where's the 62 million gone for Semenyo? We're not forgotten about that 62 million. Nah. Big up, Amir. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up. Conference League is the same as Europa. Is it? They can't even afford their own theme tune. I'm going to give them a Conference League song. Conference League. We are the Conference League. We are the Conference League. We are the conference. I can't find anything else. Ryan's the Conference League. We are the Conference League. We are the Conference League. We are. See, I can't find what rhymes with league. Big, Neeg, Sieg, Peeg, Weed. We are the Conference League. 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 Yeah, like, I don't think you can say anything like that. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Big up, Sniperman. How you doing? 100 million for Tonali is embarrassing. 100 million from anyone is embarrassing these days. Ronaldo doesn't even know the Europa League anthem. Oh. That's it. Oh. I think the Conference League is this one. That's the conference. It's similar. It's not the same. It's just a slight adjustment. That's the Conference League anthem. Europa League anthems. That's it. I got it now. I'm tired of these comments on commentators with Ruben Amorim remarks. They won't shut up about Ruben Amorim. Honest to God, they're absolutely crazy. They're mad, obsessed. Absolutely. Morning, Mandem. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're well. People on your way, hit the like and subscribe. Thank you so much, Mandem. You absolute legend. Thank you, my bro. Just realised Liverpool also played in the Europa League in 2003, 2004. There's nothing wrong. Look, the Europa League is not a bad competition. It's a good competition to win. It's not the Champions League. Of course, it's not the Champions League. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But they will be in the Conference League next season, Liverpool. Liverpool will be in the Conference League next season. There you go. Baleba is not good enough to justify 40 million, if that. And they're trying to say 65 million, 75 million. You know what I mean? Baleba had a stinker for real. Yeah, look, we can't just throw away money, guys. Any updates on Stiller? Kenny, yes. Stiller is on Manchester United's radar. Also Real Madrid's radar. Stiller obviously said about 3 months ago that he would like a move to Real Madrid. However, with the changes at Real Madrid, including the managerial position, the deal for Stiller has sort of paused. That could lead to an opportunity for Man United to go in. I would love to get Stiller. He reminds me of Tony Cruz. I think he's better than Baleba. I do, guys. Sorry, he's got his head screwed on. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I would say Stiller for me. Spot and Sal, Stiller is a huge risk. It would be. And then let's say Stiller comes, Baleba comes to Man United. Let's say Baleba comes to Man United and he carries on his form. I don't think that Ineos and the Glazers could risk that. I don't. Arsenal, goal for 75, goal 32, whilst United 46 and goal assist 36. We improved massively, as I said, defense wins you titles. Fan, I don't think it's just that. I think Man United have been like that all season. We've been second in XG under Amorim at one point. We've been second and third in regards to big chances created. We've been like that all season, mate. You know, I've said it at the beginning of the season. People were overreacting. You know, we were never that far away. Never. Who's Key Thomas? I can't even remember who Key Thomas is, Roy. Which one is Key Thomas? Who has every goal scored versus them is offside? I don't know. Young players are inconsistent, but it doesn't matter. We can't have inconsistency at Man United. Casado took a year. Yeah, but no, he took a year at Brighton, mate. He played well at Brighton consistently. Baleba's not playing consistently. No, he hasn't been shit. Addison hasn't been shit. He's playing in a very shit team as well. That's wrong. And also, Tonali is not moving mountains. At the end of the day, you want to spend 65 million. That's your point. But Baleba, I watch Baleba closely. And people are telling me he's struggling. People around him are telling me he's struggling. He's not getting the vibes here. Anderson is playing for England. All right? Anderson will walk into the England team. Baleba won't. You know? Casado's been consistent. Didn't you watch Casado the other day? Casado's been consistent for years. Obviously, he's not going to play good every single game, but Baleba's played shit every single game this season. He's been removed from the team. I don't care how old he is. I honestly don't. Man United are not in position to say, all right, we're going to wait for Baleba to perform. Don't worry. You go out there, spend 20 games, and we'll wait till you get there. No, Man United are not in that position at the moment. Tonali will come into Man United and he will make a difference. So will Anderson, so will Wharton. You can't just say, let's play it because he's my favourite player and I've got a fetish for him. You can't say that. We can't, because at the end of the day, Vino, with all due respect, you have to look at things objectively and subjectively, not just backing because he's your favorite player. What has he done to justify being a Man United? All right, then. Why don't we go out and sign Mazza from Algeria, or Chaibi from Algeria, or Diakiti from Mali? Why don't we go and do that? Because they're good players. They could come in. They're young. They could come in. They play in AFCON. They're good. Why don't we use them? You know, at the end of the day, you could say it against any single player. Why don't we use Sekou Kone? Sekou Kone's young. We can do the same thing. We can go round and round in circles. With all due respect, I like Baleba, but Man United cannot spend, unless it's 35 million, Man United cannot spend 65 to 75 million on a player that has been performing badly for 7-8 months. It's insanity, honestly. Roy, the City ball game yesterday was one of my favorites, along with the 4-3-1-1. It's a good game. Still at Antonali, Guimaraes, and Anderson, 9 out of 10 win the Sal. Yo, Irfan, not really. I'll tell you why. Because we still need a right back, left back, pack up striker. That would be, for me, if we sign Tonali or Guimaraes and Anderson, it will be no way, mate. You've got to look at it. Irfan, don't go into the glaze. Look, Irfan, I warned you before about Glazonomics. Do not do that. 2 players is not a 9 out of 10 window. Buying Tonali or Guimaraes and Anderson is not a 9 out of 10 window. It starts at a 5. And then you move up. We need a right back. Maybe need a left back. We need a backup striker. We need a left midfielder. We need a backup goalkeeper. And then maybe I can start looking at 9s and stuff. Irfan, my guy. You know, if Ineos see this, they're going to be like, oh, they're going to be happy with that. For tomorrow, I'd bring in Mazraoui at left back and Heaven for Maguire. Mbeumo left limping, so he might not start. Yeah, he was limping badly, Benny. They are the 3 I can see being brought in for tomorrow. I mean, I don't know if he's going to do it, though, Benny. I think that Carrick is going to be very, very cautious. Irfan, one day, inshallah, I will be able to donate £500 to your channel. Irfan, you're a legend, mate. I really appreciate you. You've been a consistent viewer of this channel. We don't always agree, but you've been a consistent viewer of this channel and a support of this channel, and I really appreciate you, as I appreciate everyone in here. This is a debate. This is a debate channel. It's passionate. This is how we do things. And those who survive on this channel are the survivors of the fittest. And I think you are the best, most ball knowledgeable people in the football hemisphere, in the communities. I big up everyone and big up Irfan, because you know what? I've known you for a long time now, Irfan, and I thank you for everything, mate. And appreciate you, brother. Really do. Gregory, if a club has an opportunity to acquire Sandra Tide, then you do whatever it takes to acquire him. Absolutely. Mandem, what's this bullshit about Barca are confident they can get Leach on loan with a buy option? Yes, guys, I've got to bring that into the stream because obviously I did talk about it. Apparently, Licha Martinez may be subject of a bid from Barcelona in regards to going to them. What do I make of that? Now, Barcelona are absolute scumbags. Barcelona could... Barca, listen, you can get lost, Barca. Out the door, Barcelona. You are not touching Licha Martinez. You're not going anywhere near Licha Martinez. Look, guys, I know. The problem is that we have, right? We have, in England, we have a problem. We have many, but one of them is this. When footballers from a certain area of the world, like South America, like Spain, like Portugal, or Italy maybe, when Barcelona come calling, or Real de Madrid come calling, their heads get turned. Their heads get turned, and you know their wife would be, "Hola, señor, I want to go to Barcelona. I don't like the weather in Manchester. I want to go to Barcelona." And this is what happens. And then the player would be like, "I've been at Man United a long time now. Should I go to Barcelona?" It's difficult. And then not only that, they come out with these stinking offers. These stinking offers of a loan with an obligation to buy. This is a fist with an obligation to punch. That's what it is to these idiots. Honestly, I tell you about these teams, man. Barca are shameless frauds. They're shameless frauds. They act like a big club. Now, let me tell you something about Real Madrid, right? People may think what they want to think about Real Madrid. They can think about what they want to think. But let's take it back to 1958 and what Real Madrid did in regards to Manchester United. Not many people know the story that Real Madrid dedicated their Champions League win to Manchester United and unofficially gave the Champions League trophy to Manchester United. You know, people don't want to look at that. You know, and this is the thing. The difference between Real Madrid and Barcelona is class. I'm not Real Madrid's biggest fan, but they've got class. Barcelona ain't got class. Barcelona have not got any class. You know, they think we're absolute idiots. Hasib, what's going on, brother? I hope you're doing well. So why didn't these pricks get a midfielder in January when they knew it would be a problem? Because straight up, off the cuff, fiscal year, financial year, saving money. The financial fiscal year resets in July. So I predicted that this will happen because they had this little bit of money there for Semenyo and things like that, but they was only spend it on special things, basically Semenyo and things like that. You know, they'll only spend it on special things. So basically what they did is like, no, we're just going to save that for the summer. Right, we'll have a £200 million budget in the summer, right? But that 62 million is not part of that 200 million budget. It should be the 200 million plus the 62 million. But what they're going to do, like they're doing at the moment, is to manipulate the fan base right now to think they've got no money. They're going to start doing it. Oh, you know, FFP, PSR. We didn't get in Europe last season, so it cost us. So it's going to be, we're going to struggle to get players through the door. Blah, 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 blah. We know what they're going to do. Man United need 8 players at least. If we qualify for the Champions League, look, very likely that Man United are going to qualify for the Champions League. We need 8 players at least. You know? And, yeah. Ugarte is dreadful. Absolutely. Big up Hassi, by the way. Thank you, bruv. We need to outscore West Ham. Got the feeling they will score. They'll score, mate. We always concede against them. You know what I mean? Kenny. Just get that. Kenny, why did the club loan out Kone? Because they're idiots. That's why. Lausanne as well in the Swiss division. Sorry, they're in the Swiss division. Lausanne. What's he going to learn there? What's he going to learn at Lausanne? I don't know. Stupidity is part of the front office. Absolutely that. Couldn't have said it better myself. Mandem, we need a really good summer as we'll be in 4 competitions and we need a good squad to compete for all 4, but potentially win 2. Mandem, why do I get the feeling that when it comes to August next year, we're going to be disappointed? Don't you feel it? We're going to be like, oh, we only signed bloody 3 players. What the bloody hell, 3 players, but we lost about 6 players, but we only signed 3 players. I'm preparing myself for that. I'm preparing myself for that. I'm preparing myself for those moments. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Tonali is 25. It's kind of crazy. He's been around for so long. He ain't a 100 million player either, but not a lot of quality player pivots these days. I agree, Hasib. 23rd, 24th for me, UK down. You seem to forget I'm in the UAE. It's 4 hours ahead, mate. 24th for me. Ephraim, Tonali is a quality player I would take with a heartbeat. I would as well. Anyone doesn't, stupid. Anyone would take Baleba over Tonali. I don't know what you're smoking. Sal, Casemiro will have a rest after West Ham. Yes, hopefully. I think we'll beat Newcastle, but draw at Chelsea. Chelsea's going to be a difficult game away from home. Obviously, you've got the Garnacho effect and all that and stuff like that, of course. Newcastle, they're both going to be difficult games, in my opinion. They're both going to be hard games, definitely. Sal, Dubai and Jim. What about Dubai and Jim? Oh, I've already done my run. Don't tell me about it. I'm tired of running. I'm so tired. I'm in Abu Dhabi, but yeah, I run a lot. I run 5K a day, guys. You know, I've got a treadmill now. I used to run in the 40-degree heat, but it was getting too much for me. You know what I mean? And stuff. So yeah, definitely. Don't mind me of gym. I'm knackered. And I don't eat until about 1 o'clock. I fast all the way up to 1, so I don't eat. I stop eating about 8, and I don't eat until 1 in the afternoon. Remember, Mandem. Also, remember the FA Cup and European competitions haven't really started heating up. The 1 game a week will give us a rest and a recovery advantage over the last teams. Let's at least stay at the top three. Ban them. If we get top three, it's fantastic. I think we could possibly push top two, but top three wouldn't be a disaster. It wouldn't be. It'd be amazing. And lots of people laughed at me when I said this, a week ago. So I'm happy. I'm happy, guys. As long as we come top two, top three, I'm happy. That'd be brilliant. I think we can do better than Tonali, Hansen, Berardi, Sergera are all top picks. I think we can do better than Tonali. And they're all good players, Dabizas. Tonali's better than Baleba. He ain't ready to take it. And Man United needs someone now, Azib. Oops, I meant Anson, Baleba, Bawadi, and Sangari are top picks. I think that Tonali's better than all of them. Apart from Anderson. He is. Guri and Mamouche were brilliant, absolutely. Mandem. Guhi. Who cares? Who cares, man? You wouldn't have been able to pronounce my name, Hasib. You know what I mean? So don't go there. Before we and Mark Gui wouldn't be able to pronounce my name either. The full name. No one knows my full name. Before we even look at the funds for qualifying for the Champions League, we'll be able to get a good amount of money from sales. Shouldn't come up with the bullshit stories for when they're going to spend it. They're already doing it now, man. They're already doing it now. Already. Liverpool losing is a good thing. Gives us a breather. Now, I would have liked to draw because second place. But second was Liverpool losing. Gregory, any claims of insufficient funds by a club is nonsensical. Deflection from the owners, being cheap and greedy clowns. Yes, rinse and repeat. Repetitive cycle. This is what they do, isn't it? Absolutely. City saw what Szoboszlai, that's one name I can't pronounce, did to Arsenal, and they thought, yeah, let's just put a two-man wall because he don't score a goal like that again. Man, I've seen that guy score goals like that a lot of times. He can bloody strike a ball. You are asking for a funeral if you let Szoboszlai score like that. Absolutely. You are asking for a funeral. Irfan, Gui was class. Even risked a red for his team. Donnarumma, a class act. The goal. This is what you get with quality, isn't it, Irfan? It's what you get with quality. Said it about Donnarumma. Said it about Gui. I said it about him as well. Luckily, we got Lamens, and I think Lamens is going to be the new Donnarumma, in my opinion. Absolutely. Oi! Look who's creeped in the back door. It is Joe Blackman. What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're blessed, brother. Long time no see. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Absolutely. No, 50, not even 50 likes. You know what? Joe Blackman's got a point, You guys are frauds, man. You guys have got to smash a like on the video, guys. You got to smash a like on the video because this is getting peak. I don't know how many times I've said it. You know what happens when you smash a like? It gets the video to other parts. And we need Stretford Post to grow, guys. We need people to take this channel seriously, guys. So we need this ground time to go. Big up everyone, though. Thank you. And big up Joe Blackman. It's good to see you, mate. Hope you're blessed. Absolutely. Honestly, speaking, Semenyo would have been better off at United. He is just a shadow of City. United would have received the flowers and the fans. Yeah, we treat players like legends already. As soon as they sign for Man United, thank you so much, Joe. Big up yourself. It would be funny to see Tottenham Hotspur get relegated. Tottenham are in a big problem right now. Let me tell you that right now. Now, when you look at Tottenham, Spurs fixtures, right? You look at Tottenham's fixtures. You look at them, right? They got Newcastle next. Guess who they got after Newcastle? Arsenal. Who's after Arsenal? Fulham away. That's not easy. Then they got Palace. I think they can win that one. And then who's after Palace? Liverpool away. Oh, Forest after that. They're in a relegation battle. They're gonna be taking it seriously. Sorry, Spurs, man. My brother's been a Tottenham fan 40 years. I think he's going to see the worst season of his life. Then after Nottingham Forest, who they got? Sunderland. It's not going to be so sunny for Tottenham. And they still got to go to Villa. And they got to go to Chelsea. Ouch. I need some of those sound effects. I do need some sound effects, guys. Whilst Man United will be out here, guys. We'll be out here. Don't worry about it.
Paul cleverly on the beat.
Absolutely. Love it. Guys, let me just read this last few comments. When do you have to wear an Arsenal shirt, Joe? Bro, no Arsenal shirt for me, man. No Arsenal shirt. No. I'd rather rip off my skin and look like Freddy Krueger than bloody wear an Arsenal shirt. My goodness me. Oh my God. An Arsenal shirt. Arsenalitis. That's Arsenal. You can catch Arsenalitis. Arsenalitis is something you're born with when you're born an Arsenal fan. And with that, you get doses of delusions of grandeur and gunja and everything like that. So, yeah. That is us. I think we should avoid Barca. F Barca. F Barca. F Barca. They're always trying to rob us. Absolutely, they are. Their skin. Their skin. That's what it is. Their skin. Absolutely, their skin. Absolutely. Juju, are you a Chelsea fan? You're not having no refunds, man. This is no refund. Get out my shop. Get out my shop. This is no refund. Get out. Yeah. No refunds. Thank you, Joe. Big up yourself. Sorry I got your thing. Big up JSN. What's going on? I would go nowhere near Bruno Fernandes, Jimenez, and Tonali. I'd rather Stiller, Baleba, Kone, and Boadi. Why would you want Baleba, JSN? Why? He's rubbish. He's been playing rubbish. He's had a stinker time and time again. Tonali and Jimenez are better than them. We need someone who can come in the team now. Bruno Fernandes, I'd rather Nico Paz. I want, for hit that position in the future, I want Keenan Yildiz. I want that player. I want Keenan Yildiz, guys. That's what I want. Absolutely. You know what? Can you imagine how it's going to be the watch-alongs in the championship for expressions?
Oh, my. What did Ramiro do? What the fuck was that? What did he... Oh! Ramiro! This fucking... Brother, I swear to God, if this guy is off, strip him of the captaincy. Just strip him of the captaincy. Because I'm tired of this shit. I'm sick and tired of this shit. If he's been sent off, strip him of the captaincy. Because you're always doing stupid shit, fam. You're always doing stupid shit. You know what I mean? Fucking red card Ramiro. I swear down. Is that red though? Oh my God. Oh my God. He's off. He's off. He's off. He's off. No, he's done. He's done. That is brother. That's more than a red. That's more than a red. That's red. That's crimson. Brother, that's a period. That's a period. That's more than a red. Brother, that's the time of the month. I swear down, this guy has periods, bro. He has periods. He should be walking with period pads in his fucking shorts. Because every time, he has his time of the month and he goes red. Every fucking time. This man has periods. Ramiro goes through periods. What? Womenstrual cycle, whatever the fuck they're called, blood. Fucking ovulation, all of that shit.
Do you know Tottenham? What? Tottenham Hotspur?
Topspur?
No.
What's that?
you never heard of them?
No.
Goodbye, Tottenham. You deserve it for giving me one of the worst experiences in my life in that Europa League final. The worst experience I've ever had. Terrible. Man United can't wait years to come, my friend. He's not rubbish to me. He's rubbish to a lot of people at the moment. Even the board are trying to look at not signing him. Big up, Sal. I see us in second place and the Baleba a big no call. No. Or I see him currently his red flags. His red flags there. Mentality. People don't understand Man United. They think they understand Man United, but they don't understand Man United and the mentality you need to play for Man United. It's different level. You guys, you've only been supporting Man United a few years. I've seen trebles. I know what level you need. I have to honor my bet. What did you do? What did you do, Joe? Tell me. I want to know before I go. I lost a bet. What bet? What bet did you? I would never, ever put a bet on to say I'll wear an Arsenal shirt. Never. No way. No way. No way. I would never do that. That's awful. Kofi, what's going on, Kofi, my guy? I hope you're doing well. I would want Xavi Simons, Vuskovic if they get relegated. Or if they get relegated. Amram left us 3 points from fourth. Called out the ownership. We got a new manager bounce. That's all it is. Gave him a 4 out of 10 window. The board need to be called out, Joe. That's what needs to be called out, bro. He paved the way for Carrick, like with the toxicity at the club and things like that. Robert, morning. Big up, Robert. How you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing blessed, man. Best stream. Thank you so much, fan. Well, should I get nominated? Keep well, Sal. Big up. Thank you so much, my friend. You're a legend. Mandem, Baleba has been atrocious. If he joins us and plays like this, people will lose their shit. We need a solid midfielder, and currently we need a midfielder, Mandem. We got enough project players. We got Kone in there already. Mainu's a young lad as well. We need someone who can walk into that team right now. You know what I mean? Can walk into that team right now. You know? Yeah. That's it. But people, you know what? Mentioning at the end of the day, in life, in football, people know, right? Managers get sacked. Why is it Man United? When manager gets sacked, people go on and on and on about it and go into this revisionism about the manager. You know, about, this manager had that, this manager. Managers have been sacking. Look at Barcelona, Real Madrid. You know, they sack. It happens. It's life now. We have to, one thing is we have to accept there's never going to be another Alex Ferguson. That's what we have to understand. And what Man United have become is simply, if you don't perform well as a manager or whatever, results, that's it. Despite the context, you're going to lose your job, That's it. Big up Dabizas. Yes, we will finish in top 4. We're 5 points clear. Kofi Edison of Atlanta could walk into this team. Kofi Edison's a good player. Joe, we need experience, absolutely. We might be losing 3 players, leaders of the team at the end of the season. Yeah, you think about it, Joe, and this is what the context, what I'm talking about. In the summer, we lost Varane and we lost Lindelof, right? We're going to lose Rashford, Sancho, Rasmus, Ugarte, Casemiro, Mount. There's talk about Dalot, and there's talk about Shaw. That's 10 already off the cuff, right there. We've lost in the last year 10 players. How many have we replaced them with? 4? 3, 4? I'm talking about first team players. Mad, isn't it, when you think about it? Yeah, guys, you've been legends. I will be back later on for Chatterbox, guys. Thank you so much. Maybe Bruno and Gright. Yeah, I think Bruno will leave if we don't get in Champions League. I think if we get the Champions League, he may stay 1 more year. That's my theory on it anyway. I'm not the Oracle, but I think he will stay 1 more year if we get Champions League. I think if we don't get Champions League, he's going to leave. I, myself, look at Maguire, and I think Man United need to move on from every single player that has failed over the last 10 years. That's what I would say. And I think Maguire should go. I think we should get rid of Maguire, and I think we should start again. Proper rebuild. It's not only about experience. When the people talk about, he's experienced. Experienced at what exactly? And that's one thing I would say. Experienced at what? He's not experienced at all. Nothing. Losing. That's it. Big up David's ass. Take it easy, brother. Great show. Big up Tyrell. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well, Tyrell. Good to see you, man. Yeah, well, Joe, you have to wear that Arsenal shirt. My God, I feel sorry for you, mate. That's terrible. I don't. No, man. I think no. I couldn't do it. I think the worst I could possibly do is wear a club shirt in the Championship or League One or abroad. I could never wear an Arsenal shirt, a Liverpool shirt, a Man City shirt. It'd be awful. I'd rather be known as a fraud and don't do bets with him. That's fine. Mandem. Also, it will be a good time to sell Shaw as he's fit regularly playing. Oh, he's fit for the World Cup. Don't worry about that, Mandem. People are asking the question. Why? Look at Luke Shaw. He's so fit. He's keeping himself so fit. People are silly, man. We've seen this story before. We've seen Shaw get fit before a major tournament. This is what he does. I may ask if I can pay double. I want to know what the bet was. You haven't told me the bet, Joe. What was the bet? And what was the bet? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Definitely. What was the bet? Was it with KG? KG bet you? Did he? Was it KG? Imagine KG wearing an Arsenal top. You see KG, right? KG's from, I think he's from Norwood, isn't he? Joe. My missus used to work in Harris Academy, Norwood, for a couple of years. So I used to go there a lot. And I know that KG hates Arsenal. You know, when you're raised in London, you have that thing about Arsenal. You know, obviously, because we know, me being raised in London as well, you know how bad the Arsenal fans are. Or they win the league, my goodness. £50 and wear the shirt. Nah, we're Arsenal fan. £50 for what? They're paying you £50 to wear the Arsenal shirt. They have to pay me 50 grand. They would pay me 50 grand. I wouldn't wear the Arsenal shirt. I'll never hear the last of it. Absolutely not. I know so many Arsenal fans. It's mad. You know, I mean, how many Arsenal fans I know? I'm gonna have to hibernate when they win the league for a while. You know. Oh, what happened to that Sal? You remember that Sal on Stretford Post? What happened to Sal? What happened to him? Yeah, well, he's gone missing. You know, he's gone. I might. You know what I'm gonna do? If Arsenal win the league, I'm gonna come on in disguise. Oh, Sal! I've got to put on an accent. How do you do a Scottish accent or something like that? Sal's not available. He's out. He's not with us at the moment. He's been very busy. So I'll be hosting Sal McManus. The bet was £50 wear the opponent's shirt. Amram did this to me. What did you put a bet on Amram for? Amram didn't give a shit about Man United in the end. He knew that this board was fucking shit. He said, I want out of here. Fuck this. Fuck this. You know me, Joe Blackman. Joe, I worked with Bruno Fernandez's brother for 3 years in East Surrey Hospital, right? And I know his brother, and I know Amram was looking for a way out. I know he's looking for a way out. The board broke promises and things like that, and they fucked him over, just like they're fucking over Carrick at the moment. And at the end of the day, I would not bet nothing. You know what I mean? Never. Definitely not an Arsenal shirt. Flipping it. God blimey. Anyone but them. Oh, my God, Joe. You deserve everything you're getting, Joe. You deserve it. And make sure you take a picture and everything like that so we can give it as much advertisement and promotion as possible. I want to put it on here as well. I'll put it as my screensaver on the corner, like my overlay on the corner, right on the corner there. Instead of the time and date, it will be Joe Blackman in the Arsenal shirt. I want to do that. You know what I mean? Because I've done that before, guys. Mazza is mint, mate. Algerian player. Watching the AFCON. So impressed with a lot of players in the AFCON. I don't know why we were not at the AFCON scouting players. I mentioned Diakite of Mali, Chaibi of Algeria, Mazza of Algeria. There was the right back for Nigeria as well. I've forgotten his name now. Double barrel name. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Lookman looked good for Nigeria as well. Obviously, Lamine Camara of Senegal. Well, I'm gonna promote it, Joe. Don't worry, I'll give you a promotion. Don't worry, I'm gonna spread it. Exposed Joe Blackman, Arsenal fan, exposed. Yeah, that'd be a good header for it. Get a lot of clicks. So I might do that one. Absolutely. Joe, everyone, have a great day, man. I'm going. Yeah. Take it easy, guys. Have a great day. I'll be back for Chatterbox. Take it easy. Have a good day. Bless, guys. Yeah, no, Joe, don't worry. You will not owe me nothing. I'll promote it as much as I can. Definitely. Don't worry about it. Definitely. Legend, mate. I'll promote it. Yeah, and I'll send it off to Mo and Hussam as well to promote it as well. Okay? So there you go, man. Thank you so much, Joe. Big up, Joe. Big up everyone in the stream. Absolute legends. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn, and I'll see you for Chatterbox later. Join me for that. Big one coming up. Take it easy. Have a good day. See you.